This example comes out of section 7.2, transformations of exponential functions. So in this example, we're going to look at a function like y equals 2 to the x. Again, we've graphed that one a whole bunch of times, so I won't spend a bunch of extra time on it. 0, 1, and maybe let's go through 3, 8, asymptote at y equals 0. Now we're going to be asked to do a few things, such as y equals 2 to the 3x, maybe y equals 2 to the negative 2x, and y equals 2 to the negative 2/3 x. Let's try a few different ones here. So y equals 2 to the 3x. When you change x to a 3x in any equation or function that we've looked at so far this year, we expect to see a horizontal stretch by a factor of 1 over 3. And that's exactly what we do see. And so if I take the graph that I had, horizontally stretching, the asymptote of y equals 0 is irrelevant, doesn't affect it. But the point 0, 1 stays at 0, 1. The point 3, 8 will become 1, 8. So this graph does change shape. It actually gets squeezed horizontally by a factor of a third. 1/3 as wide, I suppose you could look at it as it was before. Looking at the domain and range, they haven't changed, because if you take all real numbers and stretch that by a factor of a third, it still is all real numbers. Now the second one will have a horizontal stretch by a factor of a half, but it also has this negative, which is a reflect in the y-axis. So every x-coordinate will change sign. So what does that look like? We can actually do that in one step, because we can take every x-coordinate and multiply it by negative a half. So the asymptote stays the same, we're at y equals 0. 0, 1 stays the same. But the point that used to be 3, 8 is now negative 3 over 2, negative 3 halves, 8. So negative 3 halves, 8, somewhere up here, negative 3 over 2, 8. Your artwork, not as important as you just making sure that you draw this thing in the right direction, going through the points you've said it goes through. The last one throws a couple of things at you. One of them is, again, the reflection in the y-axis. So describe that first. Reflect in y-axis, or about the y-axis if you prefer. The horizontal stretch is weird because it's by a factor of 3 over 2. So every x-coordinate will be multiplied by negative 3 over 2. So what does that look like? I take my asymptote and leave it where it is, y equals 0. Point 0, 1 stays at 0, 1. But the point that was 3, 8 on the original graph, way up there at the top, is now negative 1.5 times 3 is negative 4.5. So negative 4.1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 8. So negative 4.5, 8, somewhere over here. And we have a graph looking approximately like that. Domain and range, again, unchanged, because everything we've done here has been horizontal stretches, horizontal reflections, and so when your domain was originally all real numbers, we have not changed that domain. So there you go, transformations of exponential functions.